Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome back to the Better Man podcast. We are continuing with our Reclaiming Your Fitness series, and today I have Brian on from. Where do you live in the UK, Brian?
Um, I'm currently in Swanage on the south coast of the UK, but I live in the New Forest, which is further along on the south coast, really, of the UK.
Okay, great. I was just in London in May. Yeah, so not too long ago. Did not get to go south, or as far south as I wanted to. I guess we'll have to wait. Next trip, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So I think probably I'm about 100 miles from London, but
Okay.
directly
All
on the
right.
south coast.
Okay. All right. So I like to start these off getting an understanding of when you got started with Manful Yoga. So when did you start Manful Yoga?
I think it was about coming up for 2 years ago now. I think first of all from YouTube. Um,
Okay.
a work colleague had always suggested that I do yoga. And she used to go to classes, open classes, and I was always very conscious about majority of classes are women. And although I work with women constantly, I'm the basically the only man where I work. So I'm used to that. So it doesn't really, but I just didn't feel like comfortable going to a
Mm,
class full of women, basically. And she
yeah.
kept saying, because I always kept saying, as I'm getting older, I'm finding my balance and my flexibility not as good. And that's where I started. And then I just started going onto YouTube to look at yoga to see what classes things were available. Did a couple, and it was the side of yoga that I've never been that bothered about, the spiritual side
Hmm.
and everything else, and really also not explaining stuff, to tell you the truth, really, and also the being over flexible, and you just think, whoa, that's way beyond what I can ever achieve.
Mm.
And then I found your yoga sessions on YouTube and started doing those. And I surprised myself because I thought I'd just give it a go and I never thought I'd get into it. Um, and I was shocked. I really, really enjoyed them, got into them, and started doing them regularly on YouTube then, sort of two to three
Hmm.
times a week. I'm following those sessions.
Okay. Cool. So how old were you a couple of years ago when you first got started?
60. So I'm 62 now.
60. And you mentioned that the balance and flexibility was getting more difficult as you were aging. Is that the main motivation behind getting started?
Yeah, it was initially because I've been running. I would call myself fairly fit by running and hiking regularly and doing different activities. But it was more about my flex. I just find the flexibility was really deteriorating, and what I could once do, I
Hmm.
couldn't, and balance. That's it. There were- so went out with another family to a forest thing, and there was a log across a river, and everybody else is walking across this log, and guess what? I fell in because my balance
Oh,
really was rubbish, and that was almost the thing that I thought I've got to be able to change this.
all right. So
Yeah, so
that was your oh shit moment. Falling
yes,
in the water was
yeah,
your okay.
yeah,
All
so
right.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That's good motivation. So how did you notice? So you talked about the balance piece. How did you notice the flexibility? Or what? How did you notice a lack of flexibility reducing your overall quality of life?
I just through run just general things in life, so running afterwards, doing stretching exercises afterwards, not being able to touch my toes like I used to be able to. Things stiffening up much quicker, and just yeah, and also noticing that I wasn't standing very well, stooping, getting
Mm,
quite bad pain in between my shoulders because I've realised
mm.
my posture wasn't good and stooping. Um,
Got it.
yeah, and
Okay.
generally that was affecting different areas of life. Yeah,
Okay. All right. So let's go back to when you started mindful yoga. You're doing it about 2 to 3 times per week.
yeah.
What did you notice within your first month?
Well, I think the main thing was that how much I was enjoying it, which I really didn't
Hmm.
surprise. I mean, I was surprised about, and really getting in and could seeing that just in a short time that I was start things that I, let's say, struggled with first when you're getting into, like there's no way initially I could do the pigeon,
Mm-hmm.
and just to do the the leg crossover, the alternative to pigeon. I was coping with that, but there was no way. I just couldn't get
Mm-hmm.
anywhere into a pigeon. And I was actually starting after a month to 6 weeks to be able to get into a pigeon a bit, perhaps not fully, but get into, and I was
Mm-hmm.
starting to improve on there. um, I was standing straighter and much
Okay.
more aware of my posture and things like that. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
that was just
And
within
that helped the shoulder pain.
a month to six. Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's great. So, what do you think enabled you to be consistent with the workouts?
um I think it was with using it after a run, because I was running sort of 2 to 3 times a week, using it as a stretching after running. So if
Mm.
I do 2 group runs a week, not big distances. It's evening, so sort of 4 or 5 miles that we do as a group run in evenings, and then
If
following
I
it.
ran 4 to 5 miles, I would be dying for a week. So that's a good enough distance.
You wouldn't at your age.
I haven't ran in a long time. I haven't been consistent with running in a long time, so I get there, but initially that would be challenging. I'm just trying to say, don't I think 4 to 5 miles is a lot of running, so that's a lot. That's good job.
But yeah, so I was able to fit it in regularly because I was putting
Hmm.
it as a stretch and stretching after running, basically. Um,
Hmm.
and then I started to do it other times as well. Looking at the different things you did on YouTube, I like wakening up morning ones, especially as
Hmm.
some days when I work, I'm very much desk based, and you can not move for quite a few hours. So I was really trying to set myself up for working and being stuck in one position by doing good stretches and doing a morning exercise beforehand. And and,
Hmm.
and I, I just I was surprised how much I was enjoying it and really
Hmm.
feeling a benefit and everything else. Um, yeah, and I grew from then, and then I don't know how long I did that for.
So how long were you doing the 2 to 3 times a week of stretching after running until you started when you started doing the morning yoga routines too? Was that a month in? Was that like 2 or 3 weeks in, or do you remember?
I would think a month to 2 months in. Yeah, yeah. I think it grew that I wanted to then progress, actually,
Mm.
and do more. I was in. I'd surprised myself how much I was enjoying it and benefit. And I do think it's down to the way you explain things
Mm.
and go through things, and you really go through which parts of the body that you're meant to feel at that point and be tensing up or whatever. And I think the other ones I'd all looked at, they really weren't explained very well about how you're meant to be feeling or what you're meant to be doing. And I just, yeah. I felt
Mm.
you could progress because you knew what you were meant to be doing, when, where, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. I'm glad that the explanations worked for you. Um, so that's good. So when you were first getting started and on days when you didn't feel as energetic or as motivated on other days, what did you tell yourself or what did you do to kind of encourage yourself to do the workout?
So I think my thinking back now, one of my biggest motivations is that I want to feel as fit as I can for as long as I can,
Mm,
and enjoy life and be able to do things and be active for as long as I can. I see, because I work in healthcare, I see a lot of people that sort of similar age to me
mm.
who just can't do a lot of activities of daily life. And I didn't want that to happen to me. I think that's my main motivation, actually.
Yeah.
Um, I've had other family members who've died quite young. Um, uh, so I think that's also that I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to live life to the full for as long as possible, I
Hmm.
think, and as
Yeah.
healthy.
I
Yeah.
think that's,
And
yeah, that
I think
absolutely
actually
makes
that's my
sense to me.
motivation behind all exercise for myself.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, what do you want to keep doing? What's important to you?
All of it.
All of it. Yeah.
All of it.
Just exercise itself. Yeah.
Exercise itself, just being physically active, mentally active, um, and engaging in new things and doing different things and being able to. Um,
Hmm.
like for my 60th, I did a skydive. I mean, it was a tandem skydive, but it's something I always wanted to do, and I was able to do it. So, yeah.
Mm, okay. Cool. So, what improvements did you notice? You already mentioned the posture, but you've been doing manful yoga for a really long time now. So, what are some other improvements that you noticed? Maybe 3 or 6 months, or even a year in.
Um, so I think after doing it on YouTube for about 4 months plus, I thought, no, because I wanted to make sure basically I was going to carry it on and not do just give up after a certain time. So I thought, no, I'm into this now. I really enjoy this. So that's when I actually joined,
Hmm.
and I then started seeing all the proper programs and the long programs and started from the beginners program and following things through. And I think doing that beginning program, really, because it flows on, starting at the beginner's level,
Hmm.
naturally, and working your way up, you can really start to feel program and exercise. I mean, I suppose going back to the pigeon, that's a good example because whereas I really couldn't do it at the beginning, and now when do a sort of one of the longer sessions with really the longer holds, particularly in pigeon, I am comfortable sitting and quite enjoy just being there in pigeon and stretching and allowing. I mean, I always leaned over to one side or the other, and I am getting straighter and straighter, being able to hold my hips and
Hmm.
be more upright in the pigeon and things like that. And the boat pose, that's another one that initially with legs down holding, but now quite happy legs up holding straight, no arms, and a real progression. And I think yeah, and you can really see a progression. Um, Used to hate the forward folds, absolutely detest
Hmm.
forward folds. And now, yeah, I'm okay with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I still think they're not my
Yeah.
favourite, but I'm okay with them now.
Yeah, I think that's a great sign of progress. We've got a lot of people who have talked about, well, I first found this pose and I absolutely hated it. And some people love it now, but I think as long as you don't hate it anymore and now you're okay with them, I think that's that's definitely progress too.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
so did this lead into you making other improvements in other areas of your health and wellness?
um, yes, generally started to look at my diet, and I think, and particularly regarding running, because I suppose that is my main big exercise. I was actually feeling stronger in runs,
Mm-hmm.
and actually, if I went out, I've got some friends I sometimes go out with at a weekend who tend to do longer runs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I could I could go from just doing 4 or 5 miles up to 9 miles
Oh
without
wow.
um, yeah like just not increasing gradually, just going from 4 or 5 to 9 without a problem. Um,
Wow.
and that's just, and I think it's also helped with the muscle building exercises and programs that I've been doing recently. I think that's really helped as well with my legs and everything else. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
just generally like that has really progressed. Not, I wouldn't say faster. It's not improved my speed at all, but
Mm-hmm.
um, endurance and going on further, definitely.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we hear pretty consistently. I don't think run time, I don't think run speed increases, but like you said, I think being able to go longer, and I think being able to feel stronger while
Mm,
you're doing it and not feel some of the aches and pains that you might have felt before, just in the
mm,
knees, or the low back. Then yeah, it just makes running easier. If that
mm.
makes, I don't know. That's
Yes,
what
yeah,
I'm putting words in your mouth, but that's what I've heard at
but
least.
no, 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 no. I would agree. It's, yeah, more sustainable and carrying on. And like, I'm not, the most I'll do is a half marathon. I won't extend anymore because I
Hmm.
like being injury free, and not
Yeah,
hurt. And I don't want to. I want to carry on. I don't want to then have to stop because I've got an injury or anything like that. I mean,
yeah.
proper injury rather than just aches and pains.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit. So being injury free with your exercise, is that something that you were concerned about when you were getting started with manful yoga or starting something new?
Not about that it would cause them. No, more. I just wanted it to use it as a way of preventing them, because
Hmm.
being able to be more flexible, um, targeting all areas and learning, like, to protect the knee, you need to strengthen the leg muscle, the other parts of the leg muscles, and have a good core and everything else. So
Hmm.
being able to utilize the whole body to gain the best and sustainable, and having a really good overall fitness helps prevent injury in specific areas.
Hmm. Yeah. Cool. Um, so you're running right now. You're doing manful yoga. Um, are you what else are you doing? Are you resistance training, or what are your workouts that you like to do?
So yoga and running are my main two, I would think. When you mean resistance, you mean weights and things like that,
Yeah,
or
are you using weights or using resistance bands or anything like that?
um, I haven't
There's not a
used.
wrong answer here. I'm just
Yeah, I've
curious.
used resistance bands. You do one of your programs, I forget which one it is, there is resistance bands, and I've used it in that, but I haven't used them independently, I must admit. What I've started to do in some of the strength building programs I've been doing recently, rather than using the yoga blocks, I've been using a lighter weight. So,
Oh,
how heavy is it? Um, is it 5 kilograms? Yeah, 5 kilogram weight to do some of the
okay.
exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight for those. It's tough.
So, but yes, I've found that to help build strength. But actually doing separate either weightlifting or anything, no, I haven't done that. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but just
Do you
incorporating.
walk?
Yes, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. That's, I suppose that's one of the other main interests is walking. Yeah, a lot.
Hmm.
It's like this weekend we're further along the coast in Swanage, and we'll be going up and down the. It's quite hilly round here and rocky, so
Hmm.
going up and down the paths, the coast paths and things.
Got it. Do you know how much? Do you know how much you walk during the week, distance wise, or maybe minutes per week?
Um, I would like to make it an average of 10,000 a day, but it isn't. My average a
Hmm.
day is about between 8 and 9. But then some days, the
That's.
working days, that can be really low at 2 or 3.
Hmm.
And I try and make
What do you
up.
do? Oh yeah, you mentioned you work in healthcare. So do you have a desk job?
Uh, yes, so some 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 days are desk based and doing a lot of
Hmm.
since COVID, we've done a lot of the face-to-face clinic appointments have been changed over to phone call appointments. So you're doing a lot of
Hmm.
calls and a lot of health assessments on the phone,
Hmm.
which really it lessens your activity, your movement.
Yeah.
When you do a clinic, just getting up, going out and getting the patient and bringing them back in, you're doing movement, you're getting up and down. Whereas when
Hmm.
you're desk space, even though you're actually dealing with people, you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
So on days like that, but I like to try and make up on my days off,
Hmm. Got it.
if
Cool.
possibly can. Yeah.
So how has it sounds like you have a running group that
Mhm.
you work out with. How has that been in terms of your overall health and fitness journey? How has groups or social elements helped you?
That's that's been really good. I always, because I did run for a few. Well, I've been running for a few years, but I've always run on my own, and I I can't remember what made me suddenly decide to start running in a group and joining a local group. Um, I can't. It's 2 years. Yeah, it's about 2 years ago, just over. That I just suddenly it was like my New Year's resolution, I think. I just thought, I'm just going to suddenly search some groups to see if there are any running groups to run with others.
Hmm.
I think I'd got to that fixed days phase where in exercise that you get that you're not seeing any improvement. Um,
Hmm.
you, I couldn't. I seemed to have the motivation to extend the length of my runs, and the routes were getting a
Hmm.
bit sameish as well when just around where you live and things like that. I think that was
Yeah.
what goes with right a group. A group's actually made mainly out of women. There is less men, but it's really good, and it's a group that's not. I didn't want a group that was very competitive, who's got the
Hmm.
fastest time, who does this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
and I wanted a group that was motivating with each other, encouraging, and yes, we all enter different races, but there's all capacities there. There's those that are just starting, and I don't know if you have that in the US, the
Hmm.
couch to 5K.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds familiar. We definitely have that.
So there are that end of the group that are literally just starting for the first time, wanting to motivate themselves to get up to the other end of the group that are doing sort of half marathons to a marathon. So yeah, so it's really encouraging with each other and the group that I go with. I mean, they just there's one person that's faster than the others in that group, what you do is you always go if you just carry on your own speed, you go a bit ahead. Um,
Hmm.
the group leaders always like you like you to be in their sight. It's all about health and safety, isn't it? And then you
Mm,
loop back round, go behind them, and then catch them up and go in front. That way, you
mm,
get a longer run, but you're also staying in the group, and also you each time there's different people going, and you chat to somebody new, and
hmm.
yeah, it's just general
Yeah. So
communication. Yeah,
there's a
social
social
time.
component to it, but
Yeah.
also, do you feel like it helped you with when you were hitting a plateau? Do you feel like it helped
Yes.
you
Yes.
start to
Yes.
run? Okay,
Yeah. Especially
cool.
that looping back action that you do.
Hmm.
Especially when you go back past them, because you've then got that motivation to catch them up again,
Hmm. Yeah,
which I've found really useful, particularly if we've been
cool.
doing any longer runs. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so and you're also you're also part of Engage, our beta
Mhm.
Engage program.
Mm.
You're part of the Manful Yoga community. Has that been helpful in the same way that the in person has been helpful?
Yes, yes, it has more so than I thought it would be. Again, I think because I've worked and very much in a female work part for a number of years. It's been quite good to be in a male dominated environment and have that
Hmm.
same chat. And it's nice to things that I'm thinking, others are as well
Hmm.
thinking, and how people have been willing to share, and
Hmm.
uh, and the actual encouragement and everything. Nobody's been derised or put down or poo-pooed about what they how they're feeling or anything else. It's been, yeah, I think it's been very good.
Yeah. How has that helped you with just, I don't know, life or fitness or?
I think particularly the was it the last month was the wellness and the meditation.
Oh
It's
yeah, last month we focused on stress management and mindfulness.
yeah, it's helped more with the reflection to
Mm,
really think about what my thoughts and beliefs and things I struggle with,
mm,
and have done through life, different things, and yeah, I think it's been really quite encouraging and yeah, beneficial to do that,
yeah.
not in a derisory way or self-condemning way, but just a reflective, and that's realizing why you are where you are now and how you've got to that
Mm,
place, really,
hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and looking what you want for the future,
Hmm.
but also
Yeah.
enjoying the moment. I think one of the main things is enjoying the moment, being in the moment.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So what's the next thing you want to work on in your fitness? Do you have a next big goal that you're working on or thinking about?
Yeah, my middle, my core is um, where you have I've noticed a change, that is one thing that has definitely helped. My core is much stronger, um, and I have lost some of the excess weight around my middle. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
big, but we've all have well, I've always had a thing that I carry a bit of extra weight around my middle. I would like to that's
Hmm.
where I want to target, that's where I want to.
Yeah. How
I'm
much
not
weight do you want to lose?
I've lost about half stone, which well was 7 pounds, so I would like,
7 pounds.
yeah, I've lost it. I'd like to lose another. I'd like to
Hmm.
go down to 10 stone, or 140 pounds.
Okay. Got it. Okay,
But
cool. What's
that
do you have an idea about how you're going to do that?
I was going to carry on trying to build muscle over,
Hmm.
to burn the fat is what I was going to
Okay.
progress on to.
Yeah, I think definitely the building muscle piece should help make your body more efficient at burning fat. You'll also just require more food to maintain more muscle mass. So, just tipping the scale in that direction can just make it easier for weight loss. So, yeah,
Pushing
that
more
and probably
more proteins.
yeah, more proteins. There's definitely the nutrition component as well. So,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, well, that'll be interesting to see how that goes for you.
yeah,
Let me know.
yeah, yeah. We'll do. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
Yeah, we did just launch a weightlifting beta program in Engage as well, so that could be of interest to you, and that's a great way to get started. I know a lot of people are. Well, let's talk about that. What are your concerns with weightlifting, or what has been your aversion to it so far? Just a lack of desire, or is it like
Yeah, I think
the culture behind it, or
I think it's a lack of desire now. Now, I would when I was younger, I would have done, and I think I'd have embraced it fully.
hmm
But now I'm not. I, I'm not worried about building muscle. Well,
hmm
not building muscle, but changing the way I look to be more muscle bound, I suppose.
mm-hmm.
I just want to build muscle, but not to show it. I always think as weightlifting, I don't know why,
hmm
is about then building muscle to show it
mm,
off. Um, and I think also when I have done bits of it when I was younger, I find it boring after a
yeah,
while. The
sure,
repetition, the things, and I also used to quite plateau out quite quickly and didn't really see much
mm,
improvement.
yeah, gotcha,
Whereas with doing yoga and the incorporating the strength building yoga sessions and adding, say, a weight in with those sessions, I have
hmm
actually seen a difference. You
yeah,
know, just in my arms, me triceps have firmed up a bit, not quite so bingo wingy, and
yeah.
just little things like that. I don't want to be ultra strong or muscular. I just want to just firm things up, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Well, it takes a lot of effort to get to the really beefed up, juiced up look. So,
Mm.
you know, um, we just had an interview with a trainer, my trainer. His name is Jesse. But we had a pretty good conversation and engage about it. But basically, the first 3 months and maybe up to even 9 months of weightlifting are more focused on you learning the movements and understanding the kind of muscle mind connection just to do the exercises correctly. And, you know, but anyways, yeah, there's definitely benefits to just having strength overall, and you don't have to get huge, and also it's kind of hard to get huge. It's not just you probably won't look like a bodybuilder in 2 months of doing it
No,
consistently.
no. But
But
I
anyways,
think I
so
think it's
let's
the aesthetics that I don't think I need these days.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, let's get on to our rapid fire question. So this is where I'm going to ask you a question, and you just respond with whatever is sitting top of mind for you.
Okay.
So, what is one habit, a belief, or a mindset that has helped you the most with your overall health and wellness?
Um, oh gosh, quick fire. Struggling to think one thing.
One habit, belief, or mindset that has helped you with overall health and wellness that you would want other people to know about.
I think I think it's back to what I said at the beginning. Is the fact that I want to stay active for as long as possible through my life. So
hmm
it's a habit because my ultimate goal is to be able to do all the things I do now, walking, running, going for a swim,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and enjoying life to the full.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah, it's
yeah,
a great.
that's what
That's a great
motivates me.
answer.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one thing that you do for your health that is often overlooked or undervalued by others?
Um, Diet, trying to eat as healthily as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We really, um, and yeah, yeah, diet, and not eating the junk food,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
occasionally will do, but it is a rare thing, and whenever I've had it, I don't really ever enjoy it
Yeah,
as
that's the thing. If you don't eat a lot of junk food, you have it and then you feel like junk and you're like, why am I doing this?
mm, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
All
that's
right. What's
probably.
the most stressful part of your day-to-day life?
Um, Now these days, work actually,
Work.
work is
Mm-hmm.
yeah, work is when um, being challenged. Because again, my career is towards the end of the career, and I'm happy just
Mm-hmm.
carrying on as I am. Being challenged to have to come in to do new environments at work. That
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so I'd say work. Yeah,
Okay. All right. What's your best piece of advice for men who want to be healthier?
be honest with yourself.
Mm.
Be honest with yourself of what you want, about what you eat, and what you can achieve a
Mm.
realistic goal.
Mm-hmm.
And it's honest, I think, with yourself more than anything.
Yeah. I think that's a great answer. Cool. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, Brian?
uh no, I don't think so. I just yeah, I want to thank you really because of putting this out there. um yeah, I really didn't think I would get into it like I have done, and I've
Mm-hmm.
it's really yeah, it's been really enjoyable. You make me laugh sometimes in your sessions when this is really fun, and I'm thinking, oh, your idea of fun is not mine, but anyway. but actually
Yeah,
when
that's the
but
endorphins
when,
kicking in.
yeah, but when you do them, you actually realize, yeah, afterwards you really do yeah, can get into them and enjoy them. It's like I never thought I would enjoy pigeon, and I do. Really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, no, I'm grateful for you for out of all the options that you had for online yoga that you chose Manful Yoga and that this is working for you. So
yeah.
thank you for, giving it a shot and having faith in me.
Mm, great.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Brian, I want to thank you for coming on. Hope to see you, more of you in the near future. And then, guys, I hope this inspires you to be a better man. And I'll see you on the next episode.